guys, for this setup we're going to check on a platinum mythic rank played standard deck in the traditional best of 3 in Magic the Gathering Arena, and this one is what we're going to call it as the black green midrange wolfish deck list. As you can see here, it's mostly composed of forests and swamps, but at the same time the setup for specific spot removals and the late game planeswalkers is added. So we'll start with checking on the lineup for the creatures. So we have a variance of Golgari based creatures here that possibly more of a utility type, and going with the mid-range setup up to the long game with cards like this one that has three copies. So we go with one of Gasanda Mammoth, maybe for the Sunland Rapper, who's going to feel the 3 mana cost setup. Then we have Sarolf. Whenever a permanent an opponent control is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a counter on it, and then if it has one or more counters at the beginning of upkeep, you may remove all of them and exile each other non-permanent with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of counters. So sort of a sweep for winning creatures. So 2 copies of Sarolf, and we have Ogre of Autumn, so 3 to cast 2/3. You may play lands from the top of the berry, so it has a similarity of the Tomb Modaya card from Double Masters, but it has a bonus coven ability that as long as you control 3 or more creatures with different powers, you may cast creature spells from the top of the berry. So I'm thinking of this as a more of a utility creature, but will be more powerful once the rotation starts after Dominaria United, as is going to enter standard. So just going to note which of these cards will be our potential post rotation component for builds like this one. So another one is Holpa Piper. You can see it as more of a putting a creature card from your hand to battlefield with the bonus of if it is a wolf or a werewolf, you cannot tap it. The only drawback is that it is only activated as a sorcery, but when you put it in Nightbound, we have whenever a creature enters the battlefield or transforms into a howler, look at top 6 country berry and reveal a creature card from among them, put in your hand. So bonus card draw for a creature by looking at the top 6 cards and looking at specific creatures for specific matchups. Now next we have Talent Industry, nothing else to explain on this one. Then also have utility creatures such as Atla Liberator, which can destroy enchantment artifacts, and Graveyard Trespasser for 3 to cast 3/3, wherein when it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile the top 1 card, and then creature card exiled gets you to lose the opponent's life and you gain 1 life. So 3 copies of these. We also have Wincy Harker or Reclusive Taxidermist, a very complicated uncommon name, but can produce mana of any color, wherein if there are 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, it gets the bonus of having pump to +3/+2. Okay, so more of a ramp on this one. It's also a utility creature which can also attack on its own when the late game. Tainted Adversary, also good mana sink for more zombies added, and a Babrak Caretaker. So this is probably the 4 copies of the 6th drop. It puts counters on target creature control. It has X-Proof also, which can protect itself, and a bonus Nightbound, wherein other permanents you control have X-Proof. Basically a 6/6 also is very hard to deal with. With 6 power of X-Proof and also bonus of having putting two controllers on each creature you control. So make it 8/8 and exo. So basically a good drop. So 4 copies makes it possible to have and making sure that you can hit your nightbound setup whenever you play this. So the rest, Planeswalkers, that's basic. Sorin, producing vampires, looking at your cards for card draws, and Wolves to come up the board with spider tokens. Also drawing a card in this one life with the setup, and also gain loyalty counter whenever a creature you control dies. And lastly, some spot removals again I mentioned earlier, right? Chronograph, Blood Drifters, but we can check more of the spot removals in the sideboard later on. But we can check first the lands. Takenuma, Boss Dual Utility, 1 copy of Hybrid Tyrant and 1 layer of Hydra. I think this is making sure that it won't really affect, but I think I would have more of 2 copies of this and 2 of layer because they are good. Late game utility creatures, manlands for additional damage, and also a good mana sink for this pump, for this example for layer of the Hydra. Now for the sideboard, we have white specific anti-spot removal, so Re-Implement, additional Soren, Outland Liberators, Mytho Massacres for mini Sorb, and at the same time life drain effects. Then we'll have a copy of Gentlest Cube. This is basically a 4/3 bigger version of a Cathar, but at the same time you can also have the extra creature dissolved, put it to your graveyard, Endurance and Shell Shatter for very hard to deal with creatures such as Stormbred, Goldspan Dragon. There is also Frontal and Shadow's Verdict as just a listener's sweep for creatures with mana cost 3 or less in graveyards. But what I check on this is maybe you can add more discard, such as those that from 6/7, the Go Blank, to make sure that graveyard shenanigans opponents would be dealt with early in the bonus of discarding 2 cards from their hand. And maybe I think we should cut out 1 Soul Shatter and Burning Stardust Verdict, since we have already Mythic Massacre for the sweep. We have good spot removals. At the same time, since we don't really want to wait out your opponents because of your various creature lineup, but still could recommend this build with the core strategy of cheating Hullpack Piper and Titan of Mystery combo, which can also be bring right after this standard rotation. So overall, this is a good deck to consider in your next grind for Magic the Gathering Arena Standard Rank Best of 3, which we still have a few weeks to go before the rotation. So I would still recommend to you guys that you try this deck if ever you get some extra wild cards to spare to generate some of this lineup. So that's about it for this tech. Until the next MTG upload, and thank you for watching.